The showdown that was expected in Parliament tomorrow over a proposed mechanism of meeting the constitutional requirement that not more than 2/3 of elective and appointive public office holders shall be from one gender will not take place after all. Members of the August House yet again failed to agree on the most viable route of arriving at the constitutional provision, prompting key stakeholders in the implementation process to retreat, at least for a fortnight, to allow for more consensus building.
We need 2/3. And looking at the numbers we have right now, we are not anywhere near there. And we have deemed it prudent, therefore, to request that this bill be withdrawn again, to give more time for further consultations, for more consensus building.
And unfortunately, we don't seem to have garnered the numbers to move with that process. So we'll ask that that bill be withdrawn from the order paper tomorrow as we work on that process.
The Constitution Amendment Bill that was first tabled in Parliament last year by the then Justice Minister and current Education Minister Mutula Kilonzo seeks to break the ceiling on the composition of the National Assembly, as provided for in Article 97 of the Constitution. This will allow the implementation of a formula that will allow political parties to prepare and submit lists of nominees to the electoral body IEBC. These lists will be used to bridge the gap in case fewer men or women are elected.
To get the executive and parliament to very seriously work on getting those numbers through the two principals and the cabinet and the political party leaders.
To fulfill the constitutional gender representation requirement, at least 117 men and women must find their way into the August House. As it is now, women are assured of 53 seats in the National Assembly, meaning at least 64 female members of the National Assembly must be elected in the 290 constituencies. If the proposed constitutional amendment bill flops, then a constitutional crisis could be triggered.
We will not have a parliament that can undo the harm. So we will be in this paralysis where we have an illegality that needs to be cured by parliament, but we don't have a parliament that can cure it.
A section of members of parliament opposed to the gender equity formula insist it will be an extra burden to the Kenyan taxpayer.
If you go that route, you're talking about not less than 23 billion in 5 years Kenya shillings.
Over 4 billion a year.
Over 4 billion a year.
Do you want 500 MPs? Or do you want money for infrastructural development?
Let them be sensitive to the issue. Do they want to go around the country campaigning and then they come back after 5th, 6th when IBC says now here are the results and we realize we do not have the 3rd and somebody goes to court and most probably the court will say yes, you are unconstitutional.
Members of Parliament and the other stakeholders in the implementation process acknowledge that there is a legal puzzle to solve, but the question is, how? Time is quickly running out for the members of the August House, and the concerns raised by the key constitutional commissions is that if the bill is rejected on the floor of the House, then the only other time it can be reintroduced is next year. By then, Kenyans will be on the verge of conducting a general election, and if they don't elect enough men or women, then the composition of the next National Assembly will be rendered a nullity. Francis Gachuri, Citizen Live at 9, Nairobi.